If you are experiencing issues with your front fender not tightening up or working its way loose, and your headlight bouncing around, then this video is for you. Hi, I'm Kevin, and welcome to the channel. So they attached the fender and headlight to the bottom portion of the fork. That portion of the fork is the suspension that is constantly bouncing around. So you could be having problems with your headlight and fender loosening up or not even really getting it as tight as it needs to be anyway. The kit came with a bolt and a nylon lock nut just to make sure things stay tight. But the problem is that crown, the piece that connects the two forks together, is stamped. And on the back side of it, it's curved, so you can't tighten that up as much as you need to. What you really need in there is a spacer. And as you can see here, you can see the headlight and everything bouncing the way it does. And so while I was doing this, I decided that I wanted the headlight to be installed on the frame instead of the fork. And we would put a spacer in with a longer bolt on the fork to make sure the fender tightens up properly. So if you want to do this, luckily there's a great spot to relocate the headlight. There are mounting points where the basket bolts to if you order that later on down the road or if you ordered it with the bike itself. This is a perfect spot to bolt the headlight to if you like. The bracket the headlight is on is very strong stamped steel, so all you really have to do is drill a couple holes and add a couple spacers behind it to make sure that it bolts flat. And there you go. You have a nice mounted headlight up high off of the suspension, and you are good to go. Now for the fender, it was a little bit trickier, but not too bad. What we're going to do is we're going to add a longer bolt and put a spacer on the back side to take up for some of that space where that bracket is trying to curve in and tighten up. Now I just used extra parts I had laying around. You can go to the hardware store and get it. Best way to make a spacer is just to stack washers. Get some washers and stack them up as thick as you want the spacer to be, and it's a great way to do that. This literally might cost you $2. It's just a quick down and dirty fix, but it does work. So you just put the bolt through the front of the bracket like normal, and then on the back side take your spacer and put it on and push it all the way up against the back side of the fork. And while you're doing all this, you just tighten the nut down, and now the back side of that bracket has a solid, flat surface to tighten up to, and it makes a very strong and sturdy connection for that fender. Really, that's it. I mean, there ain't nothing to it. So let's turn the headlight on, go for a little ride so you can see how much more stable this is compared to the way it was before. You don't feel every single bump and all that makes it rattle and bounce as much because you're on the frame and not on the fork. And if you did decide to get the basket, there's ways around that too, but right now I'm not getting the basket, so I'm just going to use those bolts for what it is. But it looks to be a much sturdier way to go in my mind. I really like it. So let me know down in the comments if this is something that you might consider tackling. It's a great beginner project if you're just learning how to fix things. And as you can see here though, it's a great stable option to get you to see safely at night anyway. So I hope you guys got something from this. If so, please give it a like and subscribe. I want to say thank you for all the support. You guys are wonderful. And oh yeah, the review is coming. I had got some last minute ideas and making some revisions on that video, but it will be out soon. I record and play all of the music on these, so it takes me a little bit longer to put some of this stuff out. But yeah, the review is on its way real soon. Anyway, I'd like to thank you for checking this out, and if you would like to like and subscribe and leave a comment, I would love to hear from you. Thank you, and happy riding.